everyone, Deb here. Welcome back to my channel. I've got another process video for you. It was another challenge I did over on the NSD Design Team Takeover, and this was Virginia's challenge. So you can follow the sketch and use certain embellishments and things on your page to accumulate points. So I am going to follow the sketch, and I'm just going to draw a rough circle with my compass on my page because I am going to stitch with my sewing machine a circle around, and I go around like, I think it was 6 or 7 times maybe even, and just kind of offset the stitching each time I went around, just to get a messy kind of circle going, because I am going to lay my butterflies in that circle, or on the circle, sorry, for my layout. So I did do a lot of fussy cutting of them butterflies from the pattern paper, and this is from the More Than Words Cocoa Vanilla collection from the February kits, Kitaholic kits. I even cut out the tiny butterflies from the 6x6 paper pad. The vellum I actually cut from my cameo. I wasn't going to sit there and cut all them by hand as well. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue and backing each of these big butterflies and the little butterflies with some vellum, and then I'm going to stitch them. I don't stitch through the center of the little ones, so I wasn't going to get my fingers that close to my sewing machine needle, but I do stitch through the bigger butterflies. And while I was sewing these butterflies, they were all joined on one kind of continuous thread. I absolutely fell in love with it, and I've got heaps of fussy cut butterflies left, so I am going to make a layout probably with a curtain of butterflies. Just loved the way that it turned out. So all the stitching is done on my layout and on the butterflies, and now I'm going to work on my title. So if you used one of the free cut files that was provided for NSD, you accumulated more points. So I did cut one of the titles, and I'm just using the watercolor set to color it up in black. If I thought about it earlier, I probably would have just cut this from black cardstock, but I don't mind. I like the way it turned out. There's a variation of black going on in the title. I'm going to put some black splatters, just use the rest of that watercolor up, and put some black splatters, excuse me, on my layout. I do bring in some blush color shine and some, what was it, Georgia Peach maybe, color shine. And then I left my layout on my table. I've got like this little tiny kind of camping table set up in the dining room where I scrap, and after I'd done all my splattering, I went off to cook dinner and let this dry, and Ava must have come over and found it quite fascinating because she smudged a lot of it while it was still wet, but that's okay because my photo covers up most of the smudges. So just putting I'm pretty sure it's Georgia Peach I used, splatters on the background there. And and then I kind of go about setting up my layout to see what it's going to look like. So I used a combination of the big fussy cut butterflies, little fussy cut butterflies that have been all backed with vellum, the vellum butterflies from the vellum pack from More Than Words, and just seeing how many I need and getting a rough idea of where I want things placed. I can't talk. Yeah. So now everything's dried, so I'm going to back my photo, and I do put a couple of layers of tissue paper behind my photo, and then I reach into the ephemera pack from More Than Words, and there was this Polaroid ephemera piece, frame, sorry, that I really liked. It was black and white, so I'm going to turn it on horizontally. Oh, I really can't talk today. I'm going to turn it horizontally and mat it under my photo. This is it here, and I do end up cutting it down a bit so it fits behind my photo a bit. So still playing around with things and seeing where I want to put everything, and I felt like my photo was like blending into the background a bit, so I do come in with a bit of pattern paper to go under that frame. Now these butterflies we got March last year, and I'm slowly getting through them. I'm almost there. And I find that the wood veneer goes really well with More Than Words collection. Grab some chipboard. The points called for some chipboard. I only got one piece on there in the end, and I do play around with it a bit to try and get it to work. And also on the points sheet, it called to use, you get 1 point for every punch used. So I only used my butterfly punch, so 1 point there, and I punched some gold butterflies. And I'm going to scatter the littler ones in between the bigger ones. I did put some butterflies in the corner. I thought I might spread it out from the circle and put some butterflies in each corner, but then I didn't like that, so they end up leaving the layout. And I also, you can see I've got some DIY embellishments on my photo. They don't stay there. So this is where I cut the frame down so I can make it fit behind my photo. And I will bring in the pattern paper to map behind that too. And that's all from the More Than Words collection as well. So just matting my photo on that orange peachy coloured piece of pattern paper, and I do add some thread underneath as well because I've got the sewing happening on my layout and then the stitching also through the butterflies, so I thought I'd add a bit of sewing thread behind my photo. Now I am just going to go about and glue all the butterflies down. I don't make you watch it all. Just trying to get it fairly evenly spaced out. I wasn't really that fast because I knew I was going to bring in the smaller butterflies and the wood veneer butterflies and the gold punched butterflies as well. So gluing my photo down and just gluing my title down as well. challenge called for enamel dots, so I do pull out a whole bunch of enamel dots, and I started with black, orange, and a really pale pink. But then I was going through my enamel dot kind of stash and found the glittery ones that we got. It might have been with these kits, and they were pink and orangey, glittery type enamel dots. So I do swap the pale pink and the orange ones out for them ones. So that's pretty much it. I do add a black border with a pen to frame my layout. I do bring in some gold color shine to bring a bit more gold into my layout as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.